Okay, this is a knee-jerk reaction to Mother, sibling edition. Matt.
Amanda.
Okay, so we just, literally just walked out of Darren Aronofsky's Mother. Now, have you seen his other movies?
Yeah, I have.
Which ones?
I saw Black Swan.
Okay, have you seen Pi or Requiem?
Yes.
Okay. So have I. After Wrestler, he kind of, for me, earned a free pass. And I know you read some reviews going into this. I think I watched maybe a minute of one review, but I wanted to keep myself as free.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I didn't want anything spoiled because it was going to be that kind of movie.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go on a soapbox. So, what'd you think? What'd you think?
I thought that every review I saw was 100%. There is no non-spoiler review outside of I liked it or I didn't like it. And yes, there are only those two groups.
Yeah.
I have a feeling 80% of this world is going to be on the do not like list.
Yeah, people are going to hate this.
You're not going to like this probably at all.
Should this just be a spoiler review?
There's no such thing as a non-spoiler review for this movie.
Okay, so we are less than 2 minutes in. If you don't want this spoiled, turn it off now. Just know this. It's odd.
Yes.
If you don't know what's going on.
True. Because
once I kind of figured out what it was about, literally nothing surprised me from that point on.
True. I will also just say that it's just kind of very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean,
all the time. Like, there is no moment of like you actually being like, yeah, you go, girl. Ever.
If I walked in halfway through,
yeah,
I think it might have been more powerful. But the way it's set up, like the first 35 minutes, really spells stuff out if you're paying attention. But okay,
the first 5 minutes spells it out if you're not paying attention.
Right. Okay, so we're not even 3 minutes in. We're just going to do spoilers from here on out. So does Aronofsky not want us to like his movies and say, hey, good job for Requiem and Black Swan and The Wrestler?
I think he is trying. I think what he did is he found, like, this is his painting that his 3-year-old child did, and he's gonna see if everyone still says that they like it.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this is him reaching out there and being like, what are you willing to take from me? Like, what's the line? Do I have a golden pass? Because I feel like that's where we're at. Because the reviews that I saw, like, on Rotten Tomatoes, at least before we came here tonight, were rather high.
Yeah.
And with that being the case, it just kind of makes me go, oh yeah, he's laughing right now.
Oh,
like,
yeah, like I'm not gonna say it's bad, but basically the way I'm reading this is, you know, the movie starts with Javier Bardem, who, by the way, looks sleepy all the time, right? But he's taking this little crystal that has some light in it, and he puts it on this pedestal, and all of a sudden this burnt house comes back to life. And at that point, it's like, okay, this is going to be a cyclical kind of story.
Well, when the
which it turns out to be.
Well, the very first shot of the movie is a woman on
she's on fire, right?
And then that happens.
Right.
Like,
so basically, and the first shot of her on fire, it's like, that kind of looks like Jennifer Lawrence, but it doesn't.
But it kind of doesn't, exactly. Yeah, right. You really couldn't tell, but you assume.
Basically, this movie is about how every time he creates something, he has to build up this perfect house, and his heart, the inspiration for his movies, doesn't want to let anybody in, but then the artist, not the inspiration, but the person like actually creating the thing, loves the fans and loves people telling him how great he is. And basically, inspiration literally gives birth to a baby.
Literally.
Right. I mean, like, the symbolism's so over the head here, but like they're just hitting you with it. But at the end, the fans come in and they take this beautiful, perfect thing that they made.
Yep, this beautiful life.
And they destroy it because they want it for themselves.
And consume it, literally.
Right. Yeah.
That's another literal, not misuse of the word literal.
People eat a baby.
They eat a baby.
They eat a baby, which if I hadn't seen...
Which is like a day old, FYI.
Right, which if I hadn't seen the Mexican film, We Are the Flesh, earlier this year, this would have disturbed me. But after We Are the Flesh, I don't think I can be disturbed in a movie. But basically, they eat the baby, so his fans and critics devour it and they love it. And then Inspiration gets so upset that she's like, I'm gonna burn this whole place down. But no, he still wants to create, so he does the whole thing again. So this is the story of every movie he's ever made. So he wants you to like his movies,
but he doesn't, because you'll ruin it by liking it. Don't you dare like it, I swear to Christ.
So this is basically a multi-million-dollar therapy session for him, where he's complaining about being an artist who just really wants to make stuff and people like it too much, which is gonna happen again, by the way. Right, like, I get it. I get what he's doing, and as someone who creates stuff, like, I get that desire and how, yeah, they're gonna twist your stuff. But you know what? If you're gonna make stuff, that's what you gotta do, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can't have one without the other. So I guess we're not supposed to, like, everyone who has their own opinion of, oh, Black Swan means this and Requiem means this, and you think, no, it doesn't, only I understand.
Yeah.
So like halfway through, once I kind of figured out, oh, this is exactly what's going to happen. She's going to give birth. Like, then she's going to burn the place down. Like, I called the whole thing. By the end, when the weirdest stuff was happening, like, their house very quickly goes from just the two of them and her pregnant, everything's beautiful and serene, to a literal war zone.
Yeah, where like his agent is shooting people, like
stuff's
in the
blowing
face,
up.
Like
they created a shanty town.
Yeah, instantly, like shanty
like
town.
Immediately, like they'll go from one part of the house to the other, and it will go from people having a party to stuff blowing up.
Yeah, to things being like locked in cages, and like, you know, a policeman just like finds her and helps her, and while he's talking to her, like his jaw gets blown off.
Yeah, because
why not? You know,
while all this stuff was happening, since I kind of called what was going to happen earlier, I was trying really hard to keep my laughing low. Yeah, because it like. If I didn't know what was going on, it'd be like, this is so weird. What's going on? And then I was like, oh, this is not, none of this is real. This is all a metaphor. And I instantly stopped caring about her baby, and him. Like, once I realized, oh, these aren't real people.
Oh, yeah. No.
Like, my attachment to them stopped, and it's like, go ahead and throw weird stuff at the screen because I really don't care, and it doesn't matter.
Well, you also have to realize that these, like, for me, you know, I hate to be this person, but mom, have a baby boy, you know, seeing like an infant being like dismembered and eaten would have bothered me. Yeah. However, and I haven't seen the craziness that you've seen, okay? I do kind of have like a normal person's threshold. Yeah. But this baby is taken, killed, dismembered and eaten in literally
10 seconds.
12 seconds.
Yeah,
it happened so fast you do not get the chance to be kind of upset about it, because you're like, well, I mean, it's not real, so like.
Do you think he could have drawn that out just to be?
No, I think the reason he didn't is because they said there's no way, dude. Yeah. There's no way you can do that. But I will say, this is one of those funny things. I used to write, as you know, and I had one of those moments where something of mine was actually like, you know, shown to multiple people, and I mean the symbolism was like this. I mean, it was like punching you in the face. Like, it was like I felt like I had lost part of my, you know, myself in trying to make it obvious, because I really wanted this point across, right? And I felt like I'd done my story almost a disservice, but you gotta get it, okay? And everyone screwed it up, and that's when I stopped writing, okay? But I'm the person that's like, all right, no, that's all right. But see, that's exactly what he's doing here. He's like, you will get it, and they don't get it. We walked out the first person. She turns around.
She wasn't out of the theater yet. She's like, I'm Googling it, because it's 2
like,
hours, I don't get anything. And then we walked outside, and her boyfriend just kind of looked at me like, I was like,
but she looked like scared and weirded out, but she had no idea what had just happened to her.
She thought it was, because I haven't been able to stop laughing since we got out of the theater.
He was giggling the whole half of the movie.
And I wasn't laughing at you just now. I'm laughing at like how ridiculous all this was, because it's the most wank-tastic movie I've ever seen. I'm not saying I don't like it.
No, I'm like, no, I liked it, but like,
I honestly don't know if I have any feeling negative or positive towards it, because like this movie is for him.
I liked it in the fact that I didn't not like it.
Oh, yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. This movie feels like something. This movie feels like something that if he could have afforded to make it, just to get this stuff out of his head, like these demons out, and not show it to anyone, he could. But it's like, well, we're playing with other people's money, so we gotta release it. But like, it's kind of like, I wonder. Okay, maybe I'm misreading it, but to me, like, that's the only reading of this movie, is that it's his creative process. And if that's the case, then I can't believe he got money to make this, because this seems like something that you could only make with your own dollars.
Money, yeah.
But this whole thing it's so crazy. Like, okay, let's talk about the form for a minute. They foreshadow everything really, really early.
Yeah.
Like, they'll show a nice, like, there are very few wide shots in this movie. Everything's very close, right? But they'll show, like, the first exterior you get of the house. Oh, it's beautiful and idyllic. And the camera pulls back, and just for a brief, like, half of a second at the bottom, you see a little bit of charred ash. And you're like, oh, this has happened before. It's going to happen again. And it's... And the way he shot it, you know, all handheld, and you're basically with her. Like, so if she's, if there are 4 people, there's a scene where there are 4 people at a dinner table, and or 3 people, and she's giving them all tea, right? And the camera's right behind her, and like following right around, like a foot behind her as she's doing this, and it's kind of not visually pleasing. But it's bringing you into her world. Like, this is her movie. And I get that. And I don't know. It's... To me, I think his visuals really started to equal the stuff that he used to make.
Yeah.
Maybe about halfway through. Yeah, about halfway through. Before that, I was kind of like, this seems like it could be done by anybody.
You could have cut the first half of the movie out and it would have changed nothing.
Yeah, like, yeah.
You take the first scene in the second half of the movie and you put it together, and that's the story. You know, everything else is just...
Almost everything with... Like, there's about 20 minutes with... Ed Harris and Michelle Pfeiffer, that as much as I love them,
I love Michelle Pfeiffer.
It really serves no purpose. You're right.
It serves negative amounts of purpose.
Again, I don't mind it.
No, but they put that entire thing in there so
just to make it seem like it's a real movie.
No, so that they could take one quote from it and then use it at the end. Like, that was the only tie-in to it. Yeah. And there was no emotional attachment to anything, because again, everything in the first half is so slow that when things happen, it's 3 minutes out of 45. And it's just, which is, I mean, I'm not like against that by any means. I'm not mad at it, but everything is just, oh, she's weak. Oh, she doesn't stand up for herself. Oh, look at her. She loves him so much. Oh, and we're going to say it like 18 times too, because, you know, I felt like
Why don't you want kids?
I felt like that Futurama episode where, Bender, or, you know, the robot devil says, you can't just have your characters tell you how you feel. I hate that. That makes me feel angry. Like, that was this movie to me. I'm sorry.
And again, it's not like we didn't
And I did not like
it. This might be the weirdest experience I've ever had in a movie theater.
Yeah, no, legit.
Because... like, I can't imagine a normal movie-going audience member, someone who's like, Transformers, man, I want to see another one of those. You know, someone who, like that, enjoying this movie at all.
No.
At, like, this, especially the last 40 minutes.
But I think,
it's so stupid weird.
And of course, that was his point, is that you had those Transformer people who were like, oh my god, Black Swan, bro. It was so deep and I loved it. And he was like, get the fuck out. Like, I don't care what you think. Like, what are you trying to talk to me about my movie? So he's like, I know what I'll do. I will make all of you so uncomfortable and not want to be here so much, but I'm going to do it at the end, so you had to sit through the whole fucking thing.
And again, at the end of the day, I don't know what his... It feels like we went a long way, and, you know, for nothing, because it's like, okay, you feel this way, I get it. So do you want the praise? He's like, well, I don't like it because it hurts and it stifles my creative process. Okay, so you don't want us to like the movie? No, I need you guys here. So we're literally back where we started. What's the point?
I feel like he just signed on to do Legally Blonde 3, and this is his way of being like, I cracked. I'm sorry, guys. You remember you loved me, right?
Yeah. This might be the most expensive movie about writer's block ever, because he hasn't released a movie since Noah, which has been a while. And that's probably his most mainstream of movies, and that's not even a mainstream movie.
That's not saying a lot. No.
I mean, Noah with giant rock monsters. Even though I except for the last 25 minutes, I really like Noah. But it almost seems like he's just been sitting there, and his agent's like, "Hey, you making another movie?" Bro? Right, and finally he birthed something else, and no one's gonna understand it.
It's that song. There's a song, and the chorus is, I'm not gonna write you another love song because you asked me to, because you told me. And when I first heard that song, I was like, all I can see is this guy in like a cubicle, and they walk by and they're like, yo, where's our love song for Norah Jones? He's like, you know what? All right, I'm not going to write you another love song. And then it worked. Like, I feel like that's exactly kind of what this was for him, too.
Ah, man. Like, so would you recommend this to people?
Not most people.
I honestly think the only time I would ever watch this again is when I watch it with someone just to see how they're going to react.
No, I was going to say.
Because I'm never going to watch this for fun.
No.
No,
like, this is
the wrestler I can put on any time of day and be like, yeah, let's watch Mickey Rourke wrestle, you know?
I feel like a community college film class would put this on and be like, let's go deep.
Is this going to be the new Requiem where like every college kid has the poster of this? Oh,
I'm calling it now.
Yeah, you are.
And I nailed it.
But they need a better poster. They need a better poster then.
Yeah.
What they need is just a poster of like
the
weird bloody vaginal, hole in the floor. Like that was that metaphor was I was like,
come on.
No, they're not going to do that. And then she literally fingers the hole. I'm like, oh, all right.
But you see, this way, all of those college kids now just have a pretty picture of J-Law on their wall.
Right.
And it's existential. So like,
can we talk about that too, just for a second?
I'd love to.
So apparently Jennifer Lawrence, who's literally told, like, she's called out as, inspiration, right?
Literally, over and over. You will not forget that.
So apparently Darren Aronofsky's inspiration doesn't like to wear a bra. Because she never has a bra on in this movie.
We're 20 minutes in, the thought went through my head, she's going full Jennifer Aniston.
Oh, the second shot of the movie, it's like just full see-through.
It's just boobs.
And it's like, I guess she doesn't care now that the leak happened, but like, fine. Or maybe this is like her being a real dramatic actress and not Mystique anymore. I don't know. Like,
I feel like this was every actor who walked into this was them being like, you don't get me.
Yeah.
You guys don't understand what I can do.
The movie could have used
she was really great in it. I think she was. She really was. And I'm not a fan of her by any means. I mean, don't get me wrong. I kind of judge everything as I see it. But I'm not like a huge Hunger Games fan. I didn't think it was Oscar worthy by any means, but
yeah, no. She's fine.
But I thought I thought she had a great performance. I really did.
So I don't know about you. I could have used a whole lot more drunken Ed Harris.
I wanted Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh, Michelle Pfeiffer plays the best drunk ever. She's so catty and terrible.
She is the bitchiest bitch.
Oh, actually, them as a couple I really like.
Was perfect.
There's a weird scene where he's drunk and fingering her while what's he doing? He's like sucking on her neck.
Yeah,
and she just like is staring at Jennifer.
J-Lo.
Oh, it's so weird.
Right after they told her, or
what does that have to do with anything?
J-Lo told her to kick them out of the house, and then it was like,
does that literally
nothing? It does nothing. No.
You really could have cut them out.
I'm telling you, the first scene and the second half of the movie is your story.
Yeah.
But again, you can't sell that. You can't even sell that to an indie theater.
But again, without that first 45-minute build-up, you would totally know that nothing happening is real.
But like I said, okay,
because this isn't like a surrealist movie with real characters. Like, there's literally everything in this movie is a metaphor.
I was gonna say, have you ever watched a metaphor? Go see this movie.
Yeah, there's no person in this.
There's nothing in this. Everything in this.
There's no sense of reality at all.
No,
yeah, and I think that's why I had a little bit of a detachment to it. But okay, so I guess maybe see it. Give it a letter grade. How about let's give it a letter grade just for the poops and laughs.
What's your letter grade?
Oh man, Q. Like this movie, it might be the hardest thing to categorize I've ever seen.
And you know what? I'm going to take the Star Trek version of that and then go nail on the head. No, I'm serious. It's like a changing enigma. Like,
yeah, it's...
Here's the thing. If you have a weirdness about you, if you like horror films and stuff, not saying it's a horror film, it's not. But if you like that and you like showing your friends who hate that stuff and watching them, go see it in the theater. Because then you can sit around and watch everybody else like not understand and freak out and squirm. If you're into that, this is a good movie for you. No. I don't think it's a movie theater movie. Necessarily.
No.
There was nothing in it that made me go, oh, well, you have to see this. Like, when I saw Atomic Blonde, it's like, was this a great movie? Absolutely not. But this is theater worthy. Like, this is visuals and stunning everything. This had absolutely... If you're going to
watch it at home, make sure you have a decent TV, like decent sized TV.
I suppose. I mean, I don't even know how much that would really affect anything because all of the little crap he put in there completely...
I'll say this.
Completely.
I'll say this. The one reason to see it in a theater might be for the sound. Because there's a lot of really subtle sound stuff going on that kind of clues you into what's happening, but...
I mean, I suppose, but I also thought, like, the creaking of the floors and everything was kind of crap, too. I also kind of didn't like that, you know? I don't know. Yeah. It was overkill to the point where it's like, I don't know, it was... I could have done without it. It would have changed not a thing. If like I said, if that's something you're into, obviously see it in the theater.
But I hope you guys, if you do go see it, had as much fun laughing at it as I did, because my God. But again, and I'm not laughing at it in a bad way, just, wow. All right.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Have fun.
Bye.